Herzlich willkommen, Sianamgela, and welcome to the Bundesliga Connection with Kres Harrington on the SL Podcast in partnership with DW Berlin.
It's time for the latest from Germany's domestic football league, the Bundesliga, and more. For that, we are joined by Kres Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Kres, Bayern have now scored 9 goals in their 2 league matches after crushing Hoffenheim 4-0.
Yeah, I told you Hoffenheim was never the same since Julian Nagelsmann departed a while back, but Bayern have actually scored 13 goals if you count what they did to Benfica in the Champions League. Prior to this kickoff, prior to the Champions League kickoff, their leadership, got bitten by the corona virus bug, and Julian Nagelsmann is out with the coronavirus. He was not on the sideline at Benfica, nor for this recent slaughtering of Hoffenheim. Now, Robert Lewandowski's brilliant. You saw what he did. He netted his 10th goal. But Serge Gnabry, has really clicked it, he had a goal called off early. He actually got on the score sheet first for Bayern Munich. And he had another third goal. He almost had a hat trick in this match. Bayern, from the beginning of this match, they looked very hungry, with scoring goals. What can you say? The assist providing by Musiala was brilliant. He provided 2 assists. Speaking of Lewandowski, his 10th goal, typically you see Lewandowski hurt a team from inside the box. It's rare you see Lewandowski have a brilliant strike from outside. This match provided that. It looked really good. Hoffenheim didn't have a chance. In fact, Lewandowski is incredible. Bayern as a team, their offense is clicking on all cylinders. They've scored a record 33 goals after 9 matches, and they keep on scoring on the European pitch. Now they've extended that record to 85 consecutive competitive matches in a row, including the Bundesliga. So they're looking really good, even considering with Nagelsmann not on the sideline, that hasn't made a difference. Hoffenheim has been taking their lumps here and there, and all in all, Bayern look really good moving forward. Now we have a really important date coming up the end of November. That's the Ballon d'Or. Who will get it? Robert Lewandowski missed out because they canceled the ceremony last year, but he got an endorsement from a former Bundesliga player and a current Manchester City star, Kevin De Bruyne. He recently came out to the press and acknowledged that, if he had to choose personally, he'd have to look at Lewandowski and choose him for what he's done recently. So that's quite, the pat on the back and quite the salute from a former Bundesliga competitor. And I wish Lewandowski well in this pursuit of getting his first Ballon d'Or. But all in all, Bayern Munich look good moving forward. They're at Union Berlin next match day with the German Cup in between. So we have to wait and see what they do here in the capital city.
Dortmund's Erling Haaland is sidelined for several weeks with a hip injury, but they still managed to pick up the 3 points with ease. Should Dortmund be concerned with their brightest star out of the picture?
When you look at the math, you look at how many goals Dortmund have scored as a team. I think it's, shy about 25 goals. 9 of them, more than a third, have been provided by Erling Haaland. And when you subtract that, obviously, that could suffer down the road in some tight matches here and there. They've had a few tight matches. They had a 7-goal thriller against Leverkusen a while back. Haaland scored a brace that was decisive in picking up those 3 points. I think that maybe they made a mistake rushing him back, from injury, a little bit premature. He electrified the pitch, scored 2 goals, but now he's out again for an extended period. This will definitely hurt Dortmund in terms of their offense, but it provides opportunity for other players to step up. Now, Arminia Bielefeld, no wins, 8 losses. It's horrible. That team, the score line should have been a lot different, in this particular match. But we saw a beautiful play right at the stroke of halftime. Mats Hummels scored a beautiful goal following the ball with his head. It was volleyed off another player's head, and he kicked it in. That was a brilliant goal. And then another goal, a nice one. Jude Bellingham had a nice goal, the way he weaved through traffic and finished. We're going to have to see a lot more performances like that if you want to see Dortmund stay competitive without their brightest star on the pitch in Erling Haaland. Definitely it will hurt Dortmund moving forward, but, they're moving ahead nice. Even Emre Can, stepped up and converted his first ever penalty, in the Bundesliga. So Dortmund are getting it done. Obviously not the biggest opponent in Arminia Bielefeld. Like I said, no wins. They're still looking for their first. Cologne is the next opponent for Dortmund. They host Cologne. It's always good for Dortmund to be back at home. But Cologne had a pretty good showing this past match day. They drew with Bayer Leverkusen, so it might be more difficult than they anticipate, especially without Haaland in the lineup.
Kres, let's talk about the German Cup here. Round 2 kicks off this week. What fixtures stand out to you?
Well, for one thing that stands out is just the amount of football that some of these teams are playing in a stretch of like 10 days. It's kind of ridiculous. You know, the European pitch, then the Bundesliga, then the German Cup, back to the Bundesliga. You know, you might see some injuries take place, hopefully not. But a few matches that stand out. Mainz, a lot of top flight. There are a lot of Bundesliga fixtures taking place in the German Cup. On the 26th, that's Tuesday evening, Mainz and Arminia Bielefeld, kickoff. And Mainz had it tough in the first round. They had to get through, they leveled with the lower division side. So this is a one-and-done tournament. You got to play a solid 90 minutes to advance through, so you might see some upsets. On the following night, the 27th, Gladbach and Bayern play each other. That should be interesting. Stuttgart and Cologne face off, and Bochum and Augsburg also face off. Now, the Gladbach and Bayern can be really interesting because Gladbach was a team that was really competitive, a while before they lost Marco Rosa to Dortmund. So some of those players, they have the talent to step it up, and they could make it difficult for Bayern, considering how much, how many minutes Bayern have been playing lately, because they want to win everything, so they give it their all. I think that match stands out to me more than anything else.
Before I let you go, Kres, and just like always, what else has hit your radar this week?
Well, the Nigerian striker at Union Berlin, Taiwo Owani, is still electric hot. He's scoring. He scored in a defeat, in the Europa League, but he also scored in a draw this past match day. And that's definitely something to look out for because I mentioned that, they're going to be playing Bayern, so he might get one past Manuel Neuer. And unfortunately, we have some bad news. I'll have to end on that. Wolfsburg parted ways with their head coach, Mark van Bommel. I don't know what he's done. He's been relieved of his duties. The first coach, the first casualty this season. He hasn't really picked up a win in a long time, considering what that team is, what that team has done with the young talent they have at their disposal, and Reed Labaku and Meche and so forth. You expect more from Wolfsburg. They were a lot more competitive last season. I think it's the right call. We have to see what they do when they return back to the pitch without their head coach. But, it happens. You can't get rid of the players. It's more difficult to do that. You got to cut the beast off at the head, and that's what they've done with the Wolves, and see if they can rebound.
Thank you very much for the Bundesliga update, Mr. Kres Harrington from our partner station Deutsche Welle in Berlin, Germany. Have a fantastic day further.
Danke und auf Wiedersehen.
The Bundesliga Connection is a team effort driven by the following incredible individuals. The show is hosted by Aidan Hewitt and Kres Harrington. It is produced by Kres Harrington. It is edited by Aidan Hewitt and Uli Presch, and graphics are provided by David Scullard.